This is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama Sports and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. For more information, visit championslane.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here are thoughts from men's basketball head coach Nate Oates after learning Alabama's draw for the NCAA tournament.
Great to be in the tournament again. Obviously, we not happy with our performance up in Nashville, but that's past. It's gone. We can't change it. We can learn from it, which hopefully we have. I thought we had a good day with the guys today. We just got some shots up, some skill work, not knowing who we're going to play till tonight. We didn't want to have a full-out practice till we had a day opponent and all that. So love the Friday in Tampa draw. Hofstra's good. I can't say I love the draw. I think, obviously they very good guards.
I'll have more in a moment.
Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane. Opening 4 hours before each home game, this fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide!
Join us tonight for Crimson Tide Baseball at South Alabama. First pitch from Mobile is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Central, with our coverage of the network starting at 6:15. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
I'm Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. If you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those 2-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up, they have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
Join us this Thursday, live from Field Day. We'll be watching tournament games all day long, plus a chance to win some fabulous prizes. That's this Thursday at Field Day off of University Drive. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Lynn Leighton Ford, located online at lynnleightonford.com. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll, and I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
And we welcome you into this Tuesday edition of The Drive. Steve Moulton here with you. How are you, Coach? I am courtside here for a Sweet 16 matchup, which you will be able to hear right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And I understand there is some watch parties back home as well. The women certainly got it done in a big way last night. I'm about to reach out to Joe Hunk, who was on the call last night. They are heading to Pittsburgh The men are trying to head to Pittsburgh, and you better believe that I've been razzing most of the guys of, I'm just saying, the women got it done. So, and also beating Nova as well, did the UAH women. So maybe a little symmetry there. How are you there, Brian Temple?
I listened for a while to the women's game last night. Joe Hunt was about to lose his mind. What a great showing for them last night.
I was periodically watching as the guys were enjoying a very nice dinner at Benihana.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Benihana. If you can ever go to Benihana.
Did he flip the shrimp in your mouth?
I asked him to do that to Raven, but Ray didn't want any part of it. So, we just stuck with
sport.
Yeah, we just stuck with normal standard operating procedure. Little dinner and a show down here in Fort Lauderdale. And yes, by far the story of the night belonged to the UAH women. And tell you what, let me try to multitask here.
Do you need me to call Hunt?
No, I'm doing it. Okay. I'm just, I didn't have it handy directly on my phone, but I just am now calling the director of broadcasting at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. That is one Joe Hunk, who is on technically my cell phone, but it's also the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. How are you, Joe?
It's great when you are listening to the show, you get told that you're about to get a phone call, and then right as you're saying you're about to call, your phone rings. That was pretty nice.
Yeah.
They say nice. Timing is everything.
Yeah. He can't hear you, Brian Temple.
Well, what the
but just to let because I'm using my board, brother.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's
I'll
get
just
into
lean out the
it.
window and wave at it.
Let's get into it, Joe. Last night, a big win for the women in a big way on a big stage. Give me your thoughts on calling that one last night, sir.
The first thought was that was special. That was absolutely one of the most special things that I've ever been fortunate enough to be a part of. And the way that Coach Sharp has changed this program around is just one that is unbelievable, because you guys know this from last year. Like, you see these guys, you see these girls day in, day out. They're practicing, they're playing. You continue to say, hey, they're 17-0 and they've won 18 in a row, but you just don't know how they compare, like how they match up against everybody in the country. And then you get into a spot like this with the South Regional, and you're hosting it. There's a lot of attention on you. You come in as the 1 seed after an entire season of being told that you are not good enough to even be in the top 25 of the WBCA. And then next thing you know, you play an Edward Waters team, and therefore in your first game. And honestly, it was an extremely difficult ball game. Like,
tight.
It was one where
really
you were
tight. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going up against, the number one defense in the country. And not just in the South region, like they had the number one defense in the country, and you beat them. And then, like you were just talking about a few moments ago, it's Nova. It's UAH, it's Nova. You've never beat them. Every single time that you are going up against them, it is one that my alarm is going off right now, because I was making sure I was awake so I could actually get to the Havoc Hour.
That's right. It's coming up. That's right. Yeah.
So, you play Nova and you've never beat them, and, you have this lead on them, and you're thinking, okay, Sweet 16 is very close, but then Nova makes the run, and they start to come back towards the end, and you're sitting in it thinking, like, you're having flashbacks of Union, because, it's Nova is Union. Union is Nova. It was a very similar offense of everything. And so, you get there and they have 7 seconds to take a 3-pointer to try to tie the game up, and then they don't make it, and they don't make the shot off the rebound. And then we went into last night, Steve, and I'll tell you, like, Scott walked in, and he's been watching it from Evansville, and he's been paying attention, and he looked at me and he goes, why do I feel like we're going to beat this team by like 20 or 25 points? And I'm just sitting and looking at him going, don't say that. Please don't say that. I was like, look, man, I did, because and I mentioned he looked, and I'm telling you, like, I'm sitting and thinking to myself, like, I see what you see. Like, I see that this offense is not as good as what we just played in Nova. I see that they're not going to put the pressure on. They're a team that honestly is like, they like to get out in front in the first half and then go hide for the second half. Like, that's kind of what they do, is they try to kill the clock. And, and then even once we got into halftime and these girls were up by 14, 15 points, I'm thinking, like, this is going way too well. Like, when's this going to break? And when it got to about a 20-point lead, you really started doing that. Okay, well, this is really about to happen. Like, we are about to have a UAH celebration on the court, and the women are about to be going to the Elite Eight, and it's real. I mean, it is very real. And so, no, it was literally one of the most special and amazing nights that I've ever been a part of, not just at UAH, but period.
For the longest time, at least for me, Joe, Jasmine Hammond was kind of the standard, at least in terms of the best women's player I've seen in UAH history. And I've kind of held that close to the vest, but when you go 26 last night, I mean, Lily Wilkin, I know two-time GSC Player of the Year, but the way she was putting her defenders on roller skates last night, you got to say it. She is the gold standard now in terms of the women's basketball program at UAA.
Oh, no, she is. Look, and you mentioned the 26 last night. It wasn't just the 26. It was the way that she got it. It was the way that Eckerd College brought out a girl in Emma Egan, and it was basically Emma versus Lily. That was going to be the game. I told on the air, I said one time to Scott, I said, we might as well just take the other 4 girls off the court for both teams and just let Emma and Lily just go at it, because they were isolating each other and they were going. I mean, this was like Magic and Larry Bird. Like, they were finding each other and they were going at each other, and it was so entertaining to watch. And then Lily pulls away and has these 26 points. And it's one of these that, like, with this team now, you can start going down the accolades and the records and everything, and it takes you 10 minutes. Like, it genuinely does, with how many records this team has already broken. And even with Lily, because, now she's to the point where you can also say that she's going to be the career points per game, leader, and she'll have that record by the end of the season, because she's scored so many points now that her points per game for her career are still going up. So, you can continue to add these records she's going to have. And I know it's young. I know it hasn't been around for an incredibly long time. But, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and say that she's going to be a Hall of Famer next year. I mean, it's like you could – but you can already say she's going to be a UAH Hall of Famer. She's going to be a GSC Hall of Famer. What she has done is absolutely just one of the amazing things that I've ever seen and watched. And, I mean, she was pulling up 17, 18-foot jumpers just right into the eyes of Emma Egan. And, I mean, not even beautiful shots every time. Nothing was luck.
Well, I know the women earned a 5 seed. That bracket came out, and they'll be playing at 7:30 against Cal Poly. And sure enough, of course, I'm around the men's team. Josh Henschel, who's an assistant coach on the men, goes, "Oh, they can beat them." So, they can beat.
Look, and I can't. At this point in time, I genuinely do think that these girls can beat anybody. And I know that we talked about this run that they've had, but the MVP, and I will continue to say this, is that the MVP of that Nova game, as much as you'll want to look at Lily and you'll want to look at Millie and Ivy and all those, was Mackenzie Prokowski. She had 0 points, but Nova had a girl, and even Alan Sharp has said this on the air, so nobody come at me. This girl was huge, and I mean massive, as in left tackle for a football team massive, like she was. And every single time she had a strategy, and Coach Macy for Nova had a strategy of, if somebody's driving the lane, all she has to do is just step right in front of them, and they have to pull up for a jumper or a floater. Like layups were taken away. And Mackenzie Prokowski went in and just absolutely got as physical as she absolutely could with Haley Childs. And it was Prokowski that is the reason why UAH defeated Nova. And now with the way that Coach Sharp has come in and the way that he's been able to strategize for each game and different strategies for each one, I mean, I might be with Josh. I mean, I genuinely could be that they will. If this team makes it to the Final Four, it will be very similar to what I always used to say with like the 2001 like Kings and Lakers when they were going at it. If UAH makes it to the Final Four, that is your national championship.
Yeah,
it would be because it would be against Grand Valley State, and they are arguably the best team in women's college basketball for the last 5 years. But that is your national champion. Whoever comes out of that game would be a national champion. You still have to get through the Elite Eight, and that is still not like it's an easy game because it's the Elite Eight. But if UAH gets past Cal Poly, that next game is your national championship.
Wow. Dallas Graziani just came up and shook my hand. So I feel the need to pivot over to the men's side. And honestly, it's been an up and down year, a lot of injuries, but, you know, we're right back where the party started here against this Nova team. And, I mean, what can you say? Mick Hedgespeth is it's been a lot of fun to be around Mick. It really and I know there's a lot of news out there around, but I want to focus on this right here, right now in front of me. There is one giant that he has yet to slay, despite the fact that he's 55-11. He's 0-3 against Nova, and people, let me turn around and say they're also the defending champs and the number 1 team in the country, but it is truly remarkable considering how much needed to be replaced. I think it was around 92, 93% of the offense that was lost off of last year's team. Give me your thoughts on this matchup that's tipping up here in about 45 minutes.
I mean, this is Alabama, Georgia. This is, you know, Alabama, Texas A&M. If you go back, you can go back and look at when, you know, Alabama and Ohio State were basically the 2 best teams, or USC and Oklahoma were going at it. Like, you knew that this is where this was going to go. Like, this is where, just the reason why you played them at the very beginning of the season this year. That's the reason why you have made your team the way that you are. And quite frankly, this UAH team is actually hot at the right time. I mean, let's be honest, because we didn't think, and I say this wholeheartedly, is like, we knew that when UAH was going down to Livingston to play West Alabama, we all knew what was about to happen. You were going down there. They had just beat them at home, and West Alabama was pissed. But then you get them in Miami, and it's UAH just absolutely dominated them, and that was the second time they've done it.
Yeah.
This is your giant. This is it. Like, this is what you literally have planned your entire season around, was this game. It's not like in Division II basketball, it was man, I don't know if we're going to match up against Nova this year. Like, we may be in a whole different bracket, and we may not see them until the Final Four of the Elite Eight. No, all roads were always going to be going through Nova. You knew this. This was the whole plan. And yes, if you want to make it to an Elite Eight and you want to go to Indianapolis and you want to try to do what the women are trying to do in Pittsburgh, you knew this has to go through Nova.
Yeah.
There's no other thing to say. Like, you know how they play. You have already played them 3 separate times in the course of a calendar year. Outside of them playing in the UAH playing in the Sunshine State Conference, nobody else has played them more than you have.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? And look, we could go X's and O's, and we could talk about how, you know, Q needs to show up, and you know, we got to see what, you know, Raven can do off the bench, and you got to see how these players are going to play. You know these guys. You know this. We always knew it was going to be Golden State and Cleveland in the NBA Finals. You got here. What are you going to do with it now?
You might get a kick out of this. Nova just hired a new communications guy. It's his second day on the job. literally his second day on the job, comes up to me and says, we're coming up with the South Regional Tournament team. Where's your SID? I said, well, there was a regional that was hosted back in Huntsville. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're my guy. And I was like, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. So I thought you might get a kick out of that. And I know I'm kind of putting a little inside baseball out there for everybody to enjoy, but I thought you might get a kick out of that as much as I did.
No, and trust me, people do not understand this, and I have not gotten to say this obviously on the air because the tournament just wrapped up late last night. Every single person at UAH were all hands on deck, and it was every single person there was doing everything they possibly could to make sure this tournament that happened at Spraggins was the best run regional in the entire country, men or women. And it is amazing at how great of a staff that we have at UAH that we've been able to do this and also be able to, even though from afar, we've been able to support you guys. And we do. We have a viewing party that's coming up tonight over at Blue Oak. And, everybody's going to be there supporting the men because, again, this is it. Like this is your white whale. This is everything that you've been looking forward to. Yep. It's not a national championship. It's not a Final Four. It's not an Elite Eight. This is the game. You are literally right back where you were almost a year to the day.
Yeah.
And you're in the exact same spot. Are you going to have the same result or is it going to be different this go round? It's fully up to what you guys and how y'all want to play because they're not going to bring anything different that you haven't seen the last 3 times.
By the way, I am on finally Cade Smith Watch 2026, and I have yet to see the athletic director at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. I know he was trying to go up for the women's game, come back down here for the men's game, because I talked to him a couple of days ago, and I said, hey, this is a good problem to have, brother. This is a really good problem to have.
This is an amazing problem to have. And yeah, he was in the building last night for it. He was there and, he had his wife and kids and all that on the basketball court. And look, you're talking about an athletic director right now that you're in a good position. You have your 2 premier sports in the country right now. And you're one of only 3 teams that at the moment have both the men and women still playing in the NCAA tournament. Now, I don't know about how Lenore Ryan did. I do know that I think Minnesota Duluth, both of those teams may have advanced. I think the women did win last night.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, if you want to look at that, you are an athletic director, and there's only 2 other athletic directors in the country that are having to go through exactly what you're going through Division II basketball-wise. It's an amazing problem to have.
Kudos again. And by the way, I know I sent you a late text last night of feel free to send some buckets down here to
Trust me, we have some to give because you want to talk about a team that literally pulled the reins back as quickly as they are. I was having to hold back from going into the 4th quarter last night by saying UAH is 10 minutes away from heading to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was that close. I sent a text message to some of the other guys in the building at halftime, and all it was the Pittsburgh skyline. I'm like, this is over. This is over. Okay, like this was over. Now it's the men's turn, and I'm telling you, if this men's team pulls this off tonight, you want to talk about an atmosphere for UAH. This entire campus is going to be going crazy if they defeat Nova.
It is going to be quite loud. It is already they unpacked the upper level seats, at least on one side. They do kind of a beer garden thing on the other side.
I'm very well aware of this beer garden thing. Yeah. We've talked a lot about this even in the last week at UAH. Yes, beer garden's legit.
But I appreciate the time as always. Great call last night. And it's fun to be able to know that Pittsburgh's on the horizon, but I would really like to be doing a doubleheader. And can't thank you enough for the time today, sir.
No, I can't thank you enough for staying in Miami so that I could do that call last night. I was cheering very hard.
You can blame the men.
I was cheering very hard for the men against West Alabama during that game. I was like, come on, I need y'all to win. I don't know what the flight schedule would be, but dang it, I don't need Moulton back before 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Well,
so
I will tell you,
I deeply appreciate it.
We've got an early flight tomorrow morning out of Fort Lauderdale. Thankfully, I don't have to go through the Miami airport with radio equipment. So
no, that's a very good problem to also have. So that means that you'll be on the ground at least before daybreak or by the end of the day tomorrow.
Just in time to probably go to work. So
yeah, and by the way, just double check. What time does this game tip off?
We're about 39 minutes away.
Okay, good. Just making sure, because if you was going to be able to also make it to Lone Depot Park, I might be kind of jealous of you.
That was such a hard. By the way, that last out, that was the USA last out. It's a good thing the ABS system was not in effect there for Team USA.
Oh, yeah, no. That was a ball. Now matter of fact, I even talked to the UAH pitching coach about it because it's unique that UAH has the ability to actually pull up that view and the pitching view to see if that was a strike or not. And oddly enough, through the program that both Major League Baseball and UAH uses, they have not yet put that video up of that pitch.
Shocker.
I'm just letting you know they haven't done it. No, it was not, but I also think that, I still think USA would have gotten the out, but no, now USA gets to go up and it's going to be amazing for USA and Venezuela tonight. And I am very excited that you do not get to go because I would be so jealous right now of that.
Well, there is somebody who works here at the tournament who was there last night, and I did ask him, was it as loud as I think it was when Venezuela came back against Italy? And he said the place was shaking last night.
Yes, I promise you, if you go look at Lone Depot Park history, the 3 largest crowds in that stadium's history will all be WBC.
Yeah.
Just nobody goes to Marlins games.
Yeah.
And this is why I was trying to tell you, because I was texting you about this. Steve, you can go to Benihana anywhere, okay? You can go to – I went to Benihana in Vegas. Like, you can go to Benihana anywhere. How often would you get to be at a semifinal of a WBC game and get to watch Venezuela and Italy play each other? I was like, it's your life, man. It's your life. But I know there are Benihanas across the country. You could have went to one of those some point in time later.
I get you. I really, and I'm being scolded right now in a big way by Joe Hunk. I really wanted to go. I really genuinely wanted to go. But the coaches had commitments in another place, and they asked me to go. So who am I to turn down what the coaching staff wants me to do? So that was ultimately the decision that was made for me. There was he called it an emergency Nova meeting. So, and I said, you know what? All right. Then I'll do what I need to do. So that's ultimately made the decision for me.
So you guys were breaking down the press while the flame in the volcano was shooting up in front of.
All right, Joe. Have a good broadcast with the Havoc Hour, and great call last night, sir. Great call.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate Scott. I appreciate, every single person, Austin Coletti, as well as Howie Boxley that joined me over the weekend to get through that. And it was an absolutely amazing tournament, and I cannot wait to see what these women are about to do in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. All right, bye. Love you.
That's Joe Hunk. Pre-game for our Sweet 16 UAH broadcast is next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Lynn Leighton Ford, located online at lynnleightonford.com.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we have amazing truck month deals right now at Lynn Leighton Ford.
With your good credit, get 0% financing for 60 months with 0 down, plus 0 payments for 90 days, and $1,000 bonus cash on new F-150s. That's